What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the MG YouTube channel. I'm your host, Malachi Greff, CEO of Lead Automation Lead Properties and an investor in Tesla. Sorry, it's been a second. I haven't made like really any videos or in a minute, so at least this type of video. But yeah, it's been a while. I kind of wanted to update you guys on FSD, and the main reason why I wanted to update you guys is because he's just driving so good, dude. We are on the version 12. Or not 12, what the fuck? We're on version 14.2.2.5, and I said I was going to make some videos, and I've done a pretty good job at doing all the point revisions of version 14 up until now. Dude, there's nobody in that seat, bro. Stop playing. There's a computer over there, dude. Oh, dang, now it's on the floorboard. Alright. But yeah, FSD's just been doing so good. Like, I literally just want to drive around just to allow FSD to just do its thing, so I can just kind of experience it. Bro, I've been doing so bad at like paying attention to the road. What? Dude, my seat thing's tripping, dude. That's weird. Uh-oh. I'm not liking that. Dude, you're getting a faulty seat right now for me, bro. That's crazy. There's like nothing in that seat. And it's dingling and come on, bro, shut the fuck up, please. Gosh damn it. But yeah, you can see all this like diddling around I'm doing and like just not paying attention really. I mean, I'm paying attention to the road. I'm looking at it or something. But yeah, I've been literally like been doing so many different things and like just like working, because I've been so busy lately, and I've not really been I've not had time to like make any videos. Not had time to do anything. Right? We have an automation project at our shop right now and getting it ready for a customer. It's an okay sized project, and we need to get that bad boy done. We need to send it. You know, it's like $500,000 project or something like that. So, need to get her did. And on top of that, I got a lot of other life things going on. You know, we just launched all 6 of those Airbnbs and stuff like that. So, yeah, I haven't even settled down from like the whole Airbnb situation. I mean, because like a lot of them, again, have just been listed. So like we're not even familiar with some of the issues that are going to pop up with some of them. And then you just have normal wear and tear things like brand new Airbnb and somebody breaks the microwave. Like shit just happens. Like, or, you know, like you don't use all the outlets in the house and like one of them's like loose or something like that and like pushes into the wall or some crazy shit. But yeah. Stuff like that happens. I'm just now leaving the gym. My schedule's been like jacked up. Normally I go to the gym at like 4 in the morning, but you know, it's just not been working out. I've been sleeping in basically and not going to the gym at 4 in the morning. So I've been working with some of our guys and working with some of our India team. And so like I've been trying to get to the shop earlier so that way my India team doesn't have to work so late. Like they're already working till like 3 in the morning anyway. But if I can start at 6 a.m., then that's like they can get a few hours in or whatever. But that's kind of just like a side behind the scenes thing, which is like that's why I made this YouTube channel. Really, is I want to give more behind the scenes of like what's going on with our business operations and you know what it means to be an entrepreneur. Sorry, my nose is like messing with me. It feels dry, and I'm trying to not pick my nose on camera. By the way, the vehicle's gonna park right here where I don't want it to park, so I'm gonna drive it to where I want to drive it at. Maybe I'll show you guys this project real quick. I'm pulling up at the shop. I actually don't show too many shop videos at all. Mainly because like a lot of times we have proprietary stuff in there, and I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I've gotten in trouble for proprietary stuff. I actually used to not care, because I think it's ridiculous that these manufacturers think that some of this stuff's proprietary. Like they think if a robot is for their project, is now a proprietary robot, even though it's a robot that's made by, you know, Fanuc. Which Fanuc is a manufacturer of a robot. So here we are at the shop, going in the back door, closed trailer. We got a truck over there too. Yeah, I don't do no behind the scenes stuff like this at all. But yeah, boom. With lights on here. But I just came back for some things. Decent little shop here. It needs to be bigger for what we do. Like it's super congested right now. I'm gonna give you all a quick glimpse of this project. Really just came here for this freaking box, dude. This and this. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I may not take that. I might just leave that. Fuck it. No, I need to take it. I need to just throw it away. I need to take it or throw it away or something. Whatever. But yeah, okay. Sorry guys, I'm tripping. Also, I probably drank way too much caffeine. I had one of those buck energy shots, whatever, bucked up energy shots. So let me show you the robot while I'm just hanging out here. So there's the robot. And give you all a quick rundown of what it does. HMI. I don't know if you know anything about manufacturing. So we're doing some case erecting. So basically, the robot's going to take the box up here, and it's going to basically build the bottom of it. So it's going to be an empty box sitting right there, and then it's going to go down this conveyor here. We're going to drop parts down into it, and then it's going to go down the conveyor that's underneath of there, come back around, reorient, be taped, and then come to this drop-off location right here, where the robot's going to then come and then palletize it. So that's basically the grand scheme of that project. Yeah. So there you are. Yeah, that's a lot of what we do. You know, we do automation projects like that. The lead automation has been around for like 5 or something years, and yeah, I've been doing automation for like the past like 10 years. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm not forgetting nothing before I run out this thing. Hey Google, turn off shop lights. But yeah, been doing automation stuff for like the past like 10 years, working for an automation company. Got dark, dude. But yeah, so it's kind of been like my career. You know, I'm an engineer doing PLC stuff, robot stuff. This is really not what this video is about, but you know, hey, I don't really talk to you guys about too much of these things. So here we are. So this is what you're getting for this video, I guess. Oh shit, what happened there? That was weird. Oh, my door bounced open and didn't shut all the way. But yeah, again, the FSD has been super great. I'm gonna type in a destination. I just got my phone warrantied out. I'm actually recording this on a brand new phone. Shout out to Google. I have to actually give a shout out to Google because, come on, bro. Google has replaced 7 phones for me in my entire life. Let's see if Grok's active, bro. Hey, I need to go to Walgreens on First Avenue. Pause Grok real quick. It's calculating, taking some time. It's got it though.
Navigating to Walgreens at 4701 North First Avenue in Evansville. It's about 3.8 miles away. 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Grok. I hate how it does so much talking. I wish there was like an option to either shut it off or like they would just learn from it. I could just tell it and they can learn my preferences. But it's still super sick, like, cause I was just trying to type in Walgreens and it was like giving me like Walgreens in like California and shit, which is like really annoying, which I don't understand. This is one thing that also gets on my nerves. How, like, we're in this era of AI. We're in this era of AI and like things like a search for like a location are still not good. I just don't get it. Or like when I'm typing on my phone and like I miss keys and stuff like that. And like I accidentally type a period when I went meant to type like whatever letters next to that, like how autocorrect is not actually like autocorrecting, like how like I can't write out my entirety of my sentence and then look back on the entirety of my sentence and say, oh, well, he probably meant that, he probably meant this, he probably meant that, and like give a whole new suggestive sentence, whatever, a whole other side tangent. But back to my shout out to Google. They replaced like 7 of my phones in my lifetime. And they just replaced my phone, and this one's pretty exciting because 2 things. 1, my warranty was expired and they still replaced it. I think partially because I think the original, which was the Pixel Fold Pro 9 or whatever, I think it was like a little bit faulty. And so what happened on that one is my hinge broke. And so when I went into it, it actually told me that your warranty's expired, like you can't warranty out your phone. and then it says why, what type of repair do you need, and it said I basically just let them know my hinge broke on my phone, like my phone like almost broke in half basically, at the hinging mechanism, and they're like, cool, you actually qualify for an extended warranty on your phone. Here's you a new one, and we're gonna upgrade you from the 9 Pro Fold to the 10 Pro Fold. So sick, dude. They gave me a brand new phone, like an upgrade, which I'm sure like there was logistical things on their side that it was like they're probably not making the 9 anymore, and so like it's just cheaper to give me the 10 or whatever, you know what I mean? And on top of that, my last one was already a refurbished one because I've replaced the 9 Pro Fold like 3 times now, mostly to the inside screen breaking. This is my first time having a hinge problem with it, but both those other phones that I've had have been refurbished phones. This is the first one they've actually given me that is a brand new phone. Now, whether they give you refurbished versus brand new is like hit or miss. It's basically like not demand, but like supply that they have. Like, what do they have on hand at that point in time? If they have refurbished ones on hand, they give you refurbished ones. If they don't have refurbished on hand, then they give you a brand new one, which you just kind of like luck of the draw on whether you get a brand new one or not. But in this case, I'm assuming that they're not selling the Pixel 9 Pro Fold anymore. Probably because it was a high volume phone to begin with, and now they've moved on to the 10. But sick, thanks Google, you know what I mean? You went from a warranty that was expired, you didn't have to give me anything, to giving me some extended warranty, and giving me like a brand new Pixel 10 phone, which I've been Pixel all the way for a minute now. I had Pixel and iPhone for some time, but I just don't like iPhone, and having 2 operating systems gets really annoying because like I did that for like 3 or 4 years or something like that, maybe 5 years, where I had both, and it's just like you're like trying to swipe up and do some gesture or swipe left or whatever, and you're like, oh shit, that's on Android, that's not on iPhone. You know what I mean? Or like the gesturing, just some things are like a little bit different. Like when you're like bopping around to different things, or just inside of a particular app, the app is different. Sometimes a little bit different on iOS than it is Android. You're like, fuck, it's not, the setting's not here in Android. It's there on the iPhone or whatever. So like that gets kind of annoying. So I hated that. I'm a Pixel fan. I think Pixel is iPhone of Android. I think I said that right. Pixel is the iPhone of Android. So like if you wanted an Android that's the most like an iPhone, it is the Pixel. Pixel has base software with no like bloatware. It doesn't have like Samsung laying on top of it, stuff like that. Super snappy, super clean. Yeah, they've been able to do a lot more with a lot less hardware for a long period of time, since like back in the day when they were killing everybody with their camera, which they still have one of the best cameras on the market. But yeah, again, we're in FSD, just chilling, man. I'm just BSing with you guys, so like you're maybe not seeing exactly what's going on with this drive, and I've been talking about this drive a whole heck of a lot, but there ain't much to say, dude. It's better off I just rant to you about different things. I want to drop some different life experiences with you guys. Like, that's one of the biggest things like I've always really wanted to do within like, YouTube and stuff like that, is to like really create a place where like really it's the behind the scenes of what's going on. And like, not every day sexy. A lot of times when I do have sexy things going on, like crashing a robot, I either can't share it with you guys, or I'm too fucking busy and pissed off to want to show you guys. Like, fuck my camera. Sorry, I'm gonna get canceled on this video. But like, yeah, screw my camera. You know what I mean? I don't feel like, diddling my camera. I'm mad at this robot because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Like, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just hard to do behind the scene things. And then on top of that, like, you don't have a huge following, it's hard to feel like people want to watch it, and or the topic will be searchable at all. Like, somebody will want to search these things or whatever. But, we're doing quite a bit. Like, these are the things that are very important to be documented, because there are more people in our position right now, or where we were a year ago or 2 years ago, than, I'm about to buckle the seatbelt up, dude. This is getting on my nerves. Then than there are like people who are ultra successful, like way more, you know. I mean, like, again, we just went from having like 3 properties on Airbnb to now we have 9, I think, on Airbnb. I believe that's right. I think I got those numbers right. And not just on Airbnb, we bought 6 more properties this year, which is freaking wild. Like, we went from, I don't know, like one property, my first property that I ever bought back in like, oh God, I don't even know how many years ago that was, like 2015 or some shit. I don't know. Probably had to have been like 2015. I'm getting old, man. I think it was longer than that. I think I got my second house in like 2015. I think I got my first house in like 2012 or some shit. I don't know. But point being, 2012, 2015, that's when I got my first like 2 houses. I stayed in the second house for a really long time, like 5 years. And then, that's when I got onto the kick. I put the first house that I owned on Airbnb. It did well. I moved out and put the second house. We moved into an apartment and put the second house on Airbnb because the first house was doing so well. We're like, dude, let's just get an apartment, put this house on Airbnb, and just see how it does. It did well. We got kicked out of our apartment because we have like 6 kids and we were too loud, and we literally lived above the property management company that was property managing the apartment that we were living in. So, like, not two things that go well together. 6 kids and living above the property management company that manages the property you live in. Well, actually, they owned it too. So, there's like, hey, it's cool and all, guys. Like, y'all are good people, but y'all gotta get out. Your kids are too loud, like running around, especially during the summertime. Oh my God, dude, they hated us. But so, like, we won't be renewing your lease. They didn't actually kick us out. What's up? What's up? They didn't actually renew our lease or anything. So they didn't like kick us out. They just didn't renew our lease. And they were cool. They gave us a couple months notice or whatever, saying, hey, by the way, July, your lease is ending. We're not going to renew it. Okay, we got to figure something out in a couple months, which we weren't necessarily planning to figure out like right then and there. I didn't like renting anyways. I've never been a renter. I don't advise people to rent. Some people might advise people to rent. I don't advise people to rent. I think buying a property is a way for you to start a savings that is like your long-term wealth generation and projection. I got a cop behind me too, dude. Shit. I think that's long-term. If not wealth generation, just like building a little nest egg. So, like, I think it's very, very, very important. I think this pre-workout's got me itchy and shit, dude. I drank another energy drink with that bucked up shot that I was telling you about. So I'm like itchy and my nose is dry and hold on, people up. It's Friday night though. Do. Also, we had to hurry up and get into another property. So, like, I pulled strings and did what I needed to do to acquire another property that fit all of us. And I went from basically moving. We moved out of basically the ghetto into an apartment that was not in the ghetto. But then we bought our first house that was not in the ghetto. So, like, I pretty much lived kind of like in the ghetto. The first house that we had wasn't really in the ghetto, but it was like, it's a quiet little neighborhood. It wasn't a nice neighborhood, but it was a quiet little neighborhood. And then a quiet little neighborhood, and then why's my AC down like that? Oh, it was a quiet little neighborhood, and then I needed a bigger house because I started having more kids, and so I needed to move into a house, and I just found something like dirt cheap for like the size that it was. It was like 3,800 square feet, and I've always loved price to square footage ratio. It's one of my favorite numbers when it comes to a house. Give me that price to square footage ratio. That's what I like to see. So yeah, basically moved out of the ghetto into a nice neighborhood. Really nice neighborhood now. I mean, for our area, it's like it's a $300,000 plus neighborhood. Like, we just had our house reappraised after we did some remodeling at $370,000. which for our area, I mean, I feel like that's a good number. That's like your top 90%, you know what I mean, of like properties in our area. Like our properties are relatively inexpensive in comparison to a lot of the places in the country. Like our property in like say for instance like California somewhere, like especially like LA. I mean, dude, our it'd be like $3 million in like in LA. Even like fucking outside of LA, it'd probably be like $1 million something, pretty easily. But we have pretty low property values here in Evansville, Indiana. But yeah, so yeah, then we lived in that house for like a year or two, and then came across a property that was right by our shop that was for sale by owner. I went in there and said, "Hey, yo, bro, what's up?" Paid that dude $30K cash to buy that property, and renovated it, got it listed, seen the projections on it, seen the projections of our other property. Maybe 6-9 months passed, and then we decided, let's cash out refi this and roll it into another property. So then that started the whole snowball effect. We cash out refied that, rolled. Do we roll that into another property? What do we do? Maybe we didn't cash out refi that and roll that one until like a little bit later. Because then when we cashed out refied and rolled that into another property, we also did the renovations on our primary residence, cash out refied that, and rolled all that into another property. We also cash out refied my original property, the very first property I ever bought, and rolled that into another house, which is how we were able to accomplish getting 6 houses in like 6 months. Was a bunch of cash out refis and re-rolling them over. And then I had some good stock market gains too. I made like a lot of money off the stock market this year, which helped out a lot. So that was another thing too, is I was like taking gains from the stock market, putting them into properties. One is like a saving point, right? I just made so much money in the stock market that I was like, let's just take some gains off the table. And I'm glad I did, because like now we're about to cash out refi on a property, and literally one of my investments that I still believe in long term is down 3 times. So it's literally a third of the cost right now to buy that same thing, which is my Tesla options. My Tesla options that I've been buying, which are like 700 something strike price or something like that. I believe there's 710 calls, if I'm not mistaken. They're down to like $1,600, which this might be like, whatever, but this might be over somebody's head, but they're down to $1,600. They were at $6,800 literally like 3 months ago, which is 3x plus from where they're currently sitting at today. So I pulled all that money out, or a lot of that money out, at that very like top, that 6,000, 6,800, like all the numbers within that 58. Like, you know, I was like pulling out as it kept going up, and I put those into properties and shit. And and then so now like we have one of those properties that was more of a reno type of thing. Well, not necessarily a reno. We did quite a few of them that needed renovations. Probably about half of them needed major renovations. Maybe a little over half. Like 4 of the ones. But all the other ones really have like, either they have something weird about the property where I don't think it's going to cash out refi, or the initial loan was hard to get due to some metrics like square footage. Like we bought one of them that they don't consider the basement square footage, which these are all things I need to talk to you guys about so that you understand that they're a thing. But they wouldn't consider the basement square footage, so then they put the house under like 700 something square feet, which then nobody wanted to loan for a property under 700 square feet. So then it created this whole issue where like now that one, again, we struggled. We had to go through special approval to get that loan, even though the house itself was actually like 1,200 square feet. They just wouldn't consider the basement, which had a walkout basement. Whatever. Point being is, it'll be a struggle to cash out refi it, because it was a struggle to get the initial loan. Maybe you can slide through on a cash out refi and actually and get the money back out of it a little bit better. But I mean, we did really good on that property. They initially listed that property at 130, which in the condition it was in, it probably wasn't worth 130. We came in and basically renovated the entire property. I think it's worth like 130 to 150 now. We ended up getting that property at it was either $80,000 or $70,000 from their initial asking of the 130. So we kind of got a steal on that property. There's probably equity in that property that we could pull out and move into something else. Again, it's just gonna be like, it'd be hard to pull the money out. And then on top of that, like, we're pulling out like maybe 40K or something out of the property. I would say roughly 40K. I'm just throwing a quick number out without really any calculations in my head at all. And it's like, really, to cash out refi, I mean, I really want to spend, it needs to be a minimum of 40K, like cash in hand after a cash out refi for it to really be worth it, in my opinion. Because you're basically going and spending more money to get the debt. If you don't know this, anytime you transact on a property, you're gonna lose about like $7,000. I'm just giving you a small random number. It's not really random, but between like your loan fees and closing costs and all that other good shit that comes with it, it's gonna be somewhere between like $5,000 to even like $10,000. It could be more than that, depending on the size of the property and value of the property. But yeah, you're looking to spend probably bare minimum of any property like $5,000 if you're using financing. And so every time you finance, it's going to cost you that $5,000 to $7,000 for closing and financing and all that good shit. So like if you're taking out $40,000, like, is it worth it to take out $40,000 if you got to pay like $10,000 towards like all the things? You know what I mean? I don't like losing that much value. That's 25% value lost. So in those instances, I feel like it's better to let it ride out. And it's kind of one of those things that you can keep over leveraging, or not over leveraging. You keep leveraging and pulling that money out and moving it into something else. But then now you're going to cash flow less, and like you get into a scenario of over leveraging. So you do got to be careful of it, because if you get closer and closer to all your cash flows and then you're barely making money on all your properties, then like one little small thing goes wrong and you're screwed basically. So yeah, that's one thing you gotta be careful of. I think this is long enough rant for one day, dude. This is the FSD video. We parked. We've been here for like 15 minutes, sitting in the parking lot, 10 minutes. I'm gonna get off of here. If you're interested in other content like this, let me know down in the comments below what you'd like for me to talk about, and we'll talk about it, bro. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.